Hey guys, what's up? It is Dangeles, and welcome back to part number 7 of the Brick Mansion tutorial Let's Build. Welcome back guys to what is going to be the final part of this series. Last episode we completed the exterior of the build, so this episode is going to be a little bit more open-ended than the first 6 episodes of the series. And I'm going to be doing a little bit of work on the interior and giving you guys some pointers and some suggestions on how you want to maybe lay out the interior. And that's pretty much like the rest of what I'm going to do for this video. I'm not going to go into too much detail in the interior in terms of like furnishing things. I'm just going to give you guys like some floor plan suggestions and, you know, just some other miscellaneous pointers as we go. But as far as the exterior of the build, I'm not going to do any like landscaping on the backyard or anything. That's all up to you. You can do whatever you want with that. Just for a reference, on my survival island version of this house, I did make like a vineyard back here, and there's kind of like a river that runs through the back of the house, so you can build that if you would like. And then same thing goes with the front yard. You know, you can obviously add a driveway out here in front of the garage, you know, that's probably a good idea, and a pathway that runs underneath. You can leave it as grass if you want, but I actually put a stone pathway underneath the tunnel. And, you know, again, like that's about it. So like I said, this is going to be an episode focused on interior, so let's go ahead on the inside and let's get started with it. So I did do a couple of things off camera just to prepare for this episode. I started to frame some of the walls in terms of, you know, just putting in the double stack on each one of the walls, so it'll be easier for us to just work around them for this episode. I also put in the staircase that leads down to the basement, and I put in the walls of the basement as well, but I didn't fill them all in because, again, I wanted to show you guys, you know, kind of how to do it. But I'm going to use some night vision potions in here since it is obviously, you know, not well lit in here at all. So I'm going to be doing the floor plan for the first floor, and then I'm going to be doing the floor plan for the second floor. And then once we have that done, then I will come down here in the basement and give you guys a couple more pointers. So let's go ahead and just get started with this. Pretty much what I'm going to use for the floor plan of this build. And I'm unlikely to fill in all the walls. I'll probably just leave it as like the floor plan, and you can fill them in if you would like, but I'm not going to bother with that. But what I'm going to use for the floor plan is red clay, and this is the block that I use for most of the walls on the interior of the survival island version of this house. So that's what I'm going to be using as well. And just like any other build, you know, you guys can, you know, use whatever you want. Doesn't matter to me, you know, just pick the blocks that you want to use. It's pretty much open-ended, like I said. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to place a couple of blocks right here, coming away from the you know, framing around the door. Then I'm going to jump 3 blocks, place 2 more. And if I did this correctly, it should line up with this wall over here. And this is like 1 block out from the stack. So I'm going to take this all the way across, and this is going to create like this little entrance room. And I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side, 3 blocks away from that block. And then bring it all the way over and create these 2 little entrance rooms here in the foyer. So we'll have the foyer right here, and then a couple of just entrance rooms. I just put like chests and stuff like that for survival, but you can do whatever you want with that. I'm going to punch open 2 more blocks right here, 1 away from the corner. And exact same thing on this side, so just another entrance. And then the next thing I'm going to do is actually go ahead and start to place some staircases. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some spruce wood stairs. And what I'm going to do is come from this corner right here, come 3 blocks into the house. We got 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to place my 2 staircases just like that right there. Same thing on this side, come in 3 blocks from the corner, place 2 staircases. So we're going to have a double staircase. And now really all you have to do is just kind of go upside down stairs and then regular stairs, you know, kind of stacking on top of each other. You guys know how to do stairs though, so it's pretty much self-explanatory. And you know, just take this all the way up, and I'm going to start to, you know, shift this right into the second floor. So we're going to punch open this the ceiling into the second floor. And let's go ahead and do that. And then here we go. So that's where the first staircase is going to come up through, and then rinse and repeat. Exact same thing on the other side. So I'll also, like, as we go through the floor plan, I'll give you guys some pointers on like what you can add for each room, because there are certain things that I added to certain areas of the house already on the survival island version. However, I have not even finished the interior myself on the original version of this mansion, so you know, that's like some parts I'm going to leave open-ended, but there are some things that I can, you know, give you guys some pointers in terms of like what I'm planning on doing for them. But just a quick thing to keep in mind real quick. Right above this first stair here, this is where like I'm gonna punch open the blocks to. So like the opening in the flooring, I guess, to the second floor should be right above the first stair on the bottom here. So that's where like the openings will be, and that's looking good. And then what I'm gonna do after this is actually just place a red clay block right next to the staircases on the left and on the right. And then I'm basically just going to have this run straight back to the back of the house, which is just going to be right here. And again, if you're confused on why all these walls are already filled in, I basically just took them around the perimeter of the build. So that's just pretty much would be a good starting point. But I'm going to take this down as well and run it across. And what I'm going to do is actually line it up with this angle here. So I'm going to bring this across here and then run it straight down like that. And it should line up nicely. And then coming over here in this room, since there's really no way out of this room except if you go down the staircase. So I'm going to be opening up a 3-block wide corridor right here that opens up into this area of the house. And I'm also going to be opening up another 3-block wide entrance right there that's going to enter into a kitchen area. So I also have the staircase right here. If you're wondering where this is going to be, just come 2 blocks in from this red wall we just placed, and then just start, taking the stairs down pretty much. And that's kind of how this works. So, and this comes down to the basement, obviously. So we will cover that a little bit later. But that side of the floor plan is looking good. Again, this is a fairly open floor plan, so there's not a lot of intricacies to it. But I'll still try to go over it as to make it as clear as possible. But in this room over here, this is going to be the library, and there's a couple things we have to do to this before we even start. Starting off with this brick wall right here. So this brick wall can actually be destroyed because originally it was going to be on the outside of the house, but since we added the garage extension, it's really not showing at all on the outside, so we can just get rid of it because it's an unnecessary blocks and unnecessary double stack, so we don't even really need it. We can get rid of the whole thing all the way to the corner, and then just continue the exact same pattern when it comes to the red clay. So I can fill in the block there, fill in the block there, same thing on the other side, and then swap these blocks out for the wood, which is going to be our floor block. So you can just take that and put it through. And then same thing goes with the ceiling. I'm just going to grab some quartz blocks real quick and swap these out. So pretty simple, just like that. And we're going to do the floor plan for this room over here as well. So if you're wondering what this room is, it's actually above the garage. If you just break a couple holes down here, this is the garage level. I added a ceiling and a floor in here, just a big old rectangle. We'll get to it later. All right, anyway, so coming back over here, what I'm going to do is go 1 block away from the corner here and just make a 1-block opening. It's going to be a door that's going to connect to that area of the house. And then over here as well, I already made an opening here, but it's going to be 3 blocks away from this corner. It's just going to be a 2-block opening. And this is going to lead into that extra room that we added a few episodes ago. So as far as the rest of the floor plan here, that's about it. It's just going to be kind of open like that. Simple as that. So another brick wall that we need to replace here is this one right here. We don't need this one anymore also because, again, it was, it became obsolete once we added that extension to the house. So we can break this entire brick wall going around the corner since it's not a necessary part of the floor plan. I'll just have it run all the way to this wall here. And it's good because it gives us extra space in the interior, so it can't hurt to break it. And then, of course, we can just swap out the blocks in the floor and everything like that, and we should be good to go. So this room over here in this corner of the house is going to be a potion room for survival. And, it is very possible to, I guess, furnish this for creative. So you can make bedrooms and stuff, and this could be a pretty good candidate for a dining room in here if you were going to do creative furnishing. I would still add the library in this room regardless of survival or creative, just letting you guys know. This, again, like I said, this would be a good candidate for a dining room. Would probably still be the kitchen. This would be a good candidate for a living room. Those 2 entry rooms, again, those could just be like, sitting areas or something. And then, we'll get to the rest of it later. But just keep in mind, break all those brick blocks, make some extra space for yourself right here. And then we can kind of connect the wall to that corner. And again, that's still going to be the exact same thing. 2 blocks away from this side, 3 blocks away from this side, and a 2-block opening. So over here, it's going to be something similar. So basically what I want to do is line up the door here. So this is going to be 5 blocks, and that's going to be the opening for this. So let's go over here and do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and that's going to be our opening. And that should line up with the door frame there. And then you can just kind of add 2 more to this, so it's 3. So you just want it to be lined up with the glass, basically, of that door frame going straight across. So that is looking good, and then that pretty much does it for this room right here. That's like the floor plan for it. So next thing I'm going to do is come over here and place a lining of red clay going straight across over to this side of the house. And if you do this right, it should line up with this wall's lining. and again, should be 1 block away from the edge there. So this room is, you know, if you're playing in creative mode, if you want to furnish this for creative, this could be, I guess, like a family room or a living room. There's going to be a fireplace in this corner, so you probably may put a TV in here or something on that wall. I don't know. You can really do whatever you want with it. Again, I haven't really planned this thing out for creative. It's more of a survival build, but just because of the size of it, you could definitely be a creative build as well. So it's pretty much, you know, do whatever you want to do, I guess. Can't emphasize that enough, but I'm going to go ahead and just add those extra stairs right there. And that is pretty much it for this area of the floor plan. It's not too many rooms, right? It's pretty open. So the next thing I got to do is this area over here. So how this is going to work is there's going to be a wall that's going to come across right here and then connect over to this side. And the reason why I'm doing this is because, well, first off, there's a little nook right here for the bookshelves in the survival build, so you can account for that like I just did. But if you're doing it in creative, what you can do is actually just close this off, put a closet here, and put a bathroom right there. So those are your 2 options if you want to change that. But I would still recommend adding this hallway. And then in this area of the house, what I'm going to do is actually continue this across. But first, I'm actually just going to replace those couple blocks that I broke, and just have this run straight down to the other end of the build. And again, I'm going to show you guys like what I would do for this in creative mode, but this would work as for survival as well. And this is actually what I'm probably going to do for the survival version of the house, because I want to add like extra bedrooms for everybody on the server. But that's not the point. The point is we want to add a staircase. So there's going to be a staircase that's going to open up down here to this part of the garage. And you can open this up, you know, however which way you want. Just the bottom line is there's going to be a staircase that's going to run down through here. One key thing to keep in mind is the garage down here should have a perimeter of red clay as well. So let me actually fill this in real quick because I didn't get a chance to. That'll help us a lot with the interior. But I have to find space for a staircase in here, and I have to find space for some rooms. So that's what we have to figure out with this space. The garage is easy though. It's just a big old rectangle. You can swap out this grass here for a stone floor or any kind of floor you like. You know, you can do whatever you want with it. As far as this wall right here, actually, I'm going to fill this in right now. But this is going to be not gray stained clay. We're going to use black stained clay. Upside down U. And that's going to be an opening and a door. And actually, we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. So we can break this open as well while we're at it. And take it around town. And those should be lined up. It should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks away from the edge here. Same thing on that side. So just keep that in mind. And what I'm going to do is take another lining of red clay running around this corner here. And then we'll move back up to the second floor of the garage. But yeah, that's like kind of what we want to do with this. Just add some rooms and just find some space for the staircase, right? Because the garage, I don't want the garage to be accessible only through the bottom of the house. So I don't want it so you have to go outside of the garage to get back into the interior. That doesn't make any sense. So we're going to make sure that we account for this. So here's how I didn't do the staircase the way I'm going to do it right now on the Survival Island build, but I might switch it up in the future. But this is how I'm going to do it now for the tutorial. I'm just going to kind of experiment with this because I don't know. This could actually be a decent idea here. So let's just go ahead and try it. All right, so I'm going to kind of take this up and continue it. And hopefully it should connect nicely with that right there. So what you can do is you can make that the staircase right there. And then you can put in some rooms. So what I'm going to do is find the center spot right here. In fact, there isn't really a center spot. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we're going to do right here. So that's going to be a window, or this is going to be a room right here. And then this is going to be a room right here. And then, of course, there's like the hallway that would connect to those rooms. So that's kind of like what I want to do with this. One other thing to consider is that I could also do this as well. I could have a wall come across right here, add a room here, and then make this into like a couple of bathrooms potentially. So I could have something go across here, have an opening there, and then do something like that, right? A little bit more complicated, but that works as well. And then one more thing that I need to keep in mind here is that this this window is going to be a little bit like awkward with this wall right here. So what I might end up doing is something like this instead. I might actually take a wall across right here, leave this open, and then actually just make the room right there instead. So it just gives myself a little bit more breathing room here for this staircase. So there could be like a potential railing on it or something like that. I think that would work a little bit better. Swap out those quartz blocks with some red clay, just like that, and there we go. And then I can have like a railing, for example, a railing of anvils going straight across right here to obviously represent the railing for the staircase. So we can do that. That connects nicely to the garage below. It's going to be like right above the door here, which I don't think matters at all. I think that's fine. So we can totally work with that. And then we have some rooms over here. So that works out pretty good. So that pretty much completes the first floor plan, the first floor plan. And now we're going to move up to the second floor up here. So this one is, again, not very complicated. So we'll just get started with it. All right, guys. So for the second floor plan, we're actually going to start off here with the balcony door. And what I'm actually going to do is come from this block right here. And I'm going to make 5 blocks across. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I'm actually going to go ahead and place 3 blocks right there. Just kind of make that little T shape. And then do the exact same thing on this side. So there should be a 3-block opening right here and 5 blocks running across right there. So what I'm going to do is actually open up a slot right there, and that's going to be a door. Not going to do that on this side though, so just keep that in mind. And then what I'm going to do is actually have another wall run straight across right through here past the staircase and connect all the way over to this wall. Same thing on this side. Run straight across past the staircase, and it's going to connect up with this wall as well. So it's going to line up with that wall, but then what we're going to do is actually take another lining across right here just to kind of connect that. And that will connect to that wall nicely. It'll frame with that window very well, so that's looking good. And we kind of just have ourselves like this open area. So what I'm going to do is actually break 3 blocks right here in the middle. So we should have 3 blocks there, 3 blocks there, and it should be 1 block away from that corner. It also lines up with the 3-block opening over on this side. And then, you pretty much just take up the walls from there. But another thing I'm going to do is break open 3 more blocks right here and 3 more blocks right here. This is 2 blocks away from this corner. And then I'm going to have a wall run across right here straight to the end of the house. So it should be 1 block there, 2 blocks there. It's going to be an opening right here. We're going to have a wall run across right here. And we're going to have a wall run across right here. So again, that should not be lined up. You're okay if that doesn't line up. And then same thing on this side. A wall running across right here. But because we didn't have a opening in the door on this side, we're actually going to put it over here instead. And then this is actually going to be left alone. It's going to be an open space. This is going to be well, it's pretty much going to be the second floor of the library, more or less. So just keep that in mind. And then over here, what we're going to do is break open a block in this wall right there. And this is going to be kind of like an extra closet room. I'm actually going to have another lining run across right here and have an opening, and this is going to be an extra room as well. So that's kind of how that works in that corner. And that's pretty much like most of the second floor plan. Keep in mind right here, there's kind of like a little awkward like transition right there in that corner. You can leave that if you want, but if you really don't like that, you can do this as well. And you can have the transition in here instead. It doesn't really matter. You can do whatever you want. Or you can actually just punch this in an extra block here. And do this. Give yourself 2 blocks of space there. You can move this over. Take this across. Might actually be a little bit more logical to do it like that. So maybe I will make that adjustment. But that's pretty much, the general idea for what we want to do with the second floor plan. This is going to be kind of like a foyer area for the second floor. This is going to be a master bedroom with like the master bathroom, and then that'll be like an extra closet. This will basically just be the master wing. Over here, we're going to add some extra bedrooms in a second, and then this over here is going to be the second level of the library and a closet off the side, or maybe an office off to the side of that. So what I'm going to do next is take a wall run across right here, and this is going to go 1 block away from that edge and run straight down the middle here. And there's a fireplace at the end of this hallway here, so just keep that in mind. That's also actually lines up with this fireplace on the previous level as well, but you can light them on both levels, that's fine. And then basically this is going to be just extra rooms. So what I'm going to do is have a wall run across right here, open up a spot for a room, and then same thing on this side. So we'll have 2 bedrooms here, 1 with windows and 1 without. Or if you don't like the bedroom without the windows, you can make a kind of a connection across right here, and you can do a bathroom closet combo for that bedroom if you'd like, but it's optional. It's pretty much up to you guys. And that's kind of like my suggestions for how to floor plan this house, how to furnish it. I'm actually just gonna like do some furnishing right now, guys, and then give you guys some like final little pointers, and then we're gonna wrap up this tutorial series. So let's wrap this up with the basement. I actually already pretty much put in the walls in here, and there really isn't a whole lot of floor plan, but I will just show you guys anyway. I'd recommend swapping out the grass here with some wood, some spruce wood, pretty much just to match the floors to the rest of the house. But the basement ceilings, let me just give you guys some quick ideas of what the dimensions are in here. 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks tall. The staircase comes down right here. I'd put a wall right next to that. And then there's going to be the door over here that connects to the tunnel. And then finally we have the doors underneath of the balcony that connect to the back of the house. So you can also put a little patio out here as well with some wood or something like that. And then pretty much just leave it open in here. You can add rooms if you want. I really didn't do any floor planning for this on the Survival Island mansion because mainly this was just built for like wheat. So like I have like my potato farm and my wheat farm down here. So for creative you could probably do a lot more with it, but I just wanted to quickly go over this real quick. But that's basically the extent of the interior of the the basement of this house. I mean, there's a lot more space over here that you could expand this if you want, like underneath the terraform. It's totally optional. It's up to you, but I'm just giving you guys some ideas of what you could potentially do with it. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap up this video, wrap up this series by giving you guys just a couple of inspirational ideas and some pointers for how you could potentially furnish this for survival. Alright guys, to wrap this series up, I just did a little bit of furnishing on the interior just for survival, and I'm just going to show you guys some of the stuff that I came up with. So this is pretty much exactly the same as the Survival Island Season 4 version, so I just kind of copied that, but basically we have a couple of entry rooms in here with some chests and some other utilities. Straight down the hallway we have the kitchen, and that kind of has like a prismarine and I guess blue clay theme with some furnaces and stuff like that. We have a little table in the middle. And then over here we have the library, which again I think is really nice for survival. This is actually even pretty good for creative mode, so you can totally take this and put it in for creative and I think it'll look just fine. So that's like pretty much what I did. I didn't do a whole lot of rooms. Like I just left this one kind of blank over here. And again, this room as well, it's just kind of blank. But I just wanted to give you guys some quick pointers for how you could potentially furnish the interior of this house. And on the second floor, here's kind of like the second floor foyer. It's just a big open room here. I got this ceiling design put in with the upside down stairs and slabs, and we got some sea lanterns in the quartz. I like these railings around the staircases with the anvils. Obviously, if you're building survival, I wouldn't do that, but if you're in creative, that's totally optional. And then over here, this could be a bedroom for creative mode. This could be exactly what you see for survival, just like an extra storage for space with some extra furnaces. I built this actually as a bedroom even on Survival Island Season 4, but I just mixed up a little bit here. And then this is the second level of the library. I actually haven't even been able to finish this on Season 4 yet because I just haven't been able to acquire this many bookshelves, but this is what it could potentially look like if it was completed. So that's about it for what I did with the interior. And with that, guys, that's going to conclude this series. The series is done. So thank you guys so much for watching the Brick Mansion tutorial Let's Build, all 7 parts. I really appreciate the support this series was given. It was a lot of fun just to kind of do a tutorial. I haven't done one of these in a while, just like a really basic tutorial on how to build something. So I'll probably do a few more of these in the future, a little bit more often than I normally do, because it seems like a lot of people still really like this stuff, so I'm glad. But thank you guys for watching. This was a fun build. I think it's like a cool build to do a tutorial on because it's not like the most simple thing in the world. It's like actually a pretty nice mansion. So to do a tutorial on something kind of like of this size was pretty fun. So thank you guys for watching this series. I really appreciate the support throughout all the episodes. If you finished up the house and you want to send me some pictures on Twitter, feel free to do so. The information for my Twitter is in the description. And thank you to all you guys who just maybe have watched for the entertainment of this series. I really appreciate that as well. So thank you guys so much. It's been Dan Lags, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.